Alright, what's going on, y'all? Before we get into this video, I actually want to stop and say something real quick before we get started, and that's the fact that we just hit 100 subscribers on the channel. Now, to some people, this may be a really small goal, but to me, it means truly a lot, and I want to appreciate all of you guys who subbed, who shared the video, who's liked them, and who've continued to watch the videos, because these 100 subscribers actually mean a lot to me, and I hope to continue to put out content you guys enjoy, and as, per usual, we're going to be looking for the next sub goal, which is going to be roughly around, I think we can hit 200. But with those little things out the way, let's get ready straight into the actual video. All right, what's going on? Now we're going to get into the video. Yeah, I just hit y'all with 2 intros. What you going to do about it? Anyways, let's get straight into this video. As you see by the title and by the thumbnail, we're doing another versus battle being Rock Lee versus Neji Hyuga. Now, the reason I decided to do this video is because I was talking over with someone not too long ago in a Discord server, and we brought up the topic of Lee versus Neji, and even though we both agreed who will win, I actually wanted to make this video to see if there was anything the other person could do to actually win. So that's what we're going to be doing right here. So we're going to be talking about of course, tuning. Well, I wouldn't say tuning exams. We're gonna be talking about Kid Neji and Kid Lee, and then we're gonna be talking about time skip. Shippuden Lee and Shippuden Neji. Even though nothing really changes between the two, but let's get straight into it. Starting off, basically gonna start this off by saying that in part one, Lee absolutely rips Neji in half. It's not even a debate. It's really not even close whatsoever. Lee just it's kind of crazy how much stronger he is than Neji in part one, because a lot of people like to bring up the statement, well, if you knew Naruto, you would know that Lee stated that Neji was stronger than him. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so he stated it. Everyone knows that in versus battle and situations like this, that feats are way more important than statements. So in a statement like that, okay, Lee's probably referring to Neji beating him base to base. Okay, yeah, of course, Neji's gonna fondle base Lee. That's not even a debate. That's not even a question. I would hope no one tries to argue that. Like I just said, it's already stated. So whatever. But as we was able to see in the tuning exams, Neji was literally shitting himself when he started to see the gates Lee. When he saw basically all the gates that would start to change Lee's skin, being the 3rd, 4th, and 5th gate, Neji was like, hey, yo, bro, is this the same dude I've been fighting and sparring with all this time? Like, no freaking way. Like, he was in utter disbelief right now. And it was that was what really proved it for me, to show that, Neji clearly is at a disadvantage right here. Now, of course, I could end the video off right then and there, and that just be it. This would be a 3-minute long video, but I would be holding the subscribers, and y'all know I'm not like that. I would never do that to y'all. So we're gonna get into more details. I guess I'll start off with base to base, even though I just stated that. I'll go through some categories. Base to base, Neji rips Lee apart. I mean, we've already stated it, and Lee stated it himself. It's nothing really, too shocking about that. Even Tintin knew it. She watched half of the sparring matches. It's not a debate. Now, when we go into Gates Lee versus Gates Neji, then that's when the tides change, because the first gate of Lee, you can probably argue and try to debate someone that Neji probably fought against maybe the first, or I wouldn't say the second gate, but definitely you can argue he might have fought against first gate Lee. So Lee could probably use primary Lotus, and that's about it. And he maybe still could beat the first gate of Lee. Gates Lee, I guess first gate you can probably give Neji a bonus, say yeah, he'll probably still be first gate Lee. But second gate Lee, that's when you start to go that's when you start to wonder, that's a little tough. Because second, third, fourth, and fifth, especially third, fourth, and fifth, those things are like shitting on Neji. Like cum shots all in his face. Like, it's not even close. All right, but now I just want to move on to the speed portion real quick because speed is actually, of course, really important in this because Neji is known to be really really fast, especially for a Guinean at this point in time. But Lee, man, Lee's speed is stupid. Like Lee's speed is like beyond half of these kids right now. Like Lee's speed, not only did Kakashi need to lift up his headband so he can use his Sharingan so he can keep up with third, fourth, and fifth gate Lee, he didn't need to do that versus Neji and Hinata. He didn't need to do that versus no other Guineas fight. But he had to do that specifically for Lee because Lee was just that fast. And Neji is no slouch. He's definitely someone who's quick, but compared to third, fourth, and fifth gate Lee, it's not even the same realm. You have to compare him to weightless Lee and maybe first and second gate Lee. That's as far as he goes. Because weightless Lee was able to go from not even being able to get to Gaara's body to now being able to blitz around his automatic defense being Shikaku, who's automatically putting up sand defenses for Gaara at everything that is thrown at him. Shikaku's trying to block it. So once Lee took off his weight, as everyone knows, made the big commotion scene, he's blitzed straight towards Gaara, and then Gaara starts getting shook. Like, wait a minute, hold on. I might not be able to keep up with him anymore. And that's exactly what started to happen. Lee started speeding it up, and he kept speeding it up, and eventually he was able to tag Gaara. And then that's when he went into, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't remember if he went into the first and second gate right off the rip, or did he go straight to the third one. Actually, I want to say he went straight into the third gate. Like when he was fighting Gaara and he realized, okay, now that even weightless, I can't really tag him that much. I'm gonna have to pop these gates out. So I believe, yeah, that's exactly what he did. He went into the third gate, gate of life, had his little iconic speech, and yeah, that's about it for the speed portion. Basically, like I just said, anything that isn't like maybe weightless. And weightless Lee might not. He might be too fast for Neji. I'm gonna be 100% honest, because Neji was a basically base Naruto was able to keep up with Neji. And like, if you want to argue with someone or try and argue me down that base Naruto is even close to being on the same speed as even weightless Lee, let alone any type of Gates Lee, you're crazy. I'm gonna just say that right now. You're crazy. All right. Now another thing I want to move into real quick, which is really important for Neji's behalf, because these are some feats that also, kind of hurt him in a way. It's his fight with Kidomaru, the spider dude from the Sound 4. Basically, okay, so in this fight with Neji, basically, as we all know, Neji was borderline about to die in this fight. And the reason he was borderline about to die is, of course, he was outmatched, until the very end when he thought of something. But at a point in this fight, Neji realized that, like, even though he hit him with 64 palms, it didn't do a lot. He was forced to use 128 palms because even in case CM, and let me not say KCM, CM won, he was giving Neji a hard time. And that was just with spiders. He forced Neji to use 128 palms. Now, when he went into CM2, he was shooting these arrows. Now, these arrows definitely had a punch on them. Now, the thing about these arrows that I want to bring up is the fact that Neji literally saw one of these arrows demolish a tree right next to him. And you would think, like any smart fighter, that if you see something that destructive, you're like, okay, I definitely don't want to get hit with that. That would probably kill me. But, if Neji's reaction time, if you want to argue his reaction time can keep up with Lee, or his speed can keep up with Lee, let's say that, either or, same concept, same area of, fighting. If you want to argue that, then why did Neji still manage to get hit with that arrow? Now, you can interpret this in a few ways. You can interpret this, number one, that Neji, one, just could not dodge it no matter what he would have done. That it just like he knew he wasn't gonna be able to dodge it. Two, Neji realized that even if he used something like 8 trigrams rotation, it was not gonna help him because that arrow was too strong and it was just gonna crack through it. Or three, you can even throw in a third one and just say that Neji just felt that he wouldn't have had the timing right to even time the 8 trigrams to rotate that off. And that's a thing right there because even it once he got hit with the arrow, like people like to say, oh well, he needed to get hit with the arrow so he can inject his chakra into the arrow so he can hit him with a gentle fish. Like, okay, that's cool, but wouldn't it be smarter if Neji was to just move out of the way or maybe dodge the arrow, then run into it, grab it, and then do the whole gentle fish thing all over again? And that would have maybe saved him from being in a like life support situation. Because after this fight, Neji was literally on life support right now. Like my boy was like, it took so many medical ninja switching out every few hours just to heal this one kid. Like he got messed up by this arrow in that whole entire fight. That like he really got messed up badly. And so if he isn't able to dodge that arrow, let alone even be able to rotate it off, it's no way that I'm believing Neji can rotate off of one of third, fourth, or fifth gate's Lee's punches. Like rotation is not a factor because number one, like I just said, rotation by getting hit by Lee. If he felt that he couldn't rotate off that arrow, maybe, then he's definitely not rotating off one of Lee's punches in the third, fourth, or fifth gate. Gentle fist, Lee doesn't have a lot of chakra. Lee has just barely enough chakra to maybe walk on water and do the very basics of the basic uses of chakra, being climbing up a tree, stuff like that. He has the bare minimal basics, and so that's not really effective. I would be very surprised if he was able to hit Lee with 64 or 128 palms. I mean, he was forced to use 128 palms against spiders. So, I mean, if he was to use it on Lee, I'm pretty sure Lee can dodge that, especially since he knows he's going against Neji. He isn't going to play around too much. He's not going to be going in no first or second gate. If he was forced to do the third gate against Gar, he's probably at least bare minimally going to go second gate to get this thing started because he knows how strong Neji is. Now, another thing I want to point out is actually no, there isn't anything I want to point out. That wraps up the beginning part of this, and basically that just shows how badly part 1 Neji gets stomped. Now we're going to move on to Shippuden, and for my Neji fans out there, I got good news for you. Neji does not get stomped as bad, but nothing changes. He still gets slapped around by Lee. I'm sorry to tell you. He doesn't get slapped around as bad because Neji gets stronger himself, and with the usage of the Byakugan, and all the, usual training you would go through, all the missions and all the little bitty stuff. But I mean, that doesn't change for Lee. Lee works probably harder than anyone besides like Guy and other like prodigies like Sasuke and people like that. He like Lee's definitely up there. I will argue Lee's the hardest working character in Naruto. At least out of the kids, Well, the kids we grew up with. Let's say that. Out of all those, he's probably the hardest working one. So yeah, as we all know, he didn't slack off neither. Lee was able to use the sixth gate coming towards the war arc, so he definitely got significantly stronger. I'm pretty sure he picked up a lot more techniques from Guy. So yeah, it doesn't really change very much. Part 2 Neji still gets slapped. I wanted to spend more time talking about part 1 than part 2 because I knew that part 2 was going to be the exact same. So it's not very much that I can really explain here except for what I've been saying is that Neji still gets stomped. Yeah, and that's probably about all I can say in this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be looking out for when's my next video gonna drop. I'll give you the thumbnail right here. If you made it to the end, then you get a little surprise right there. So that's gonna be the next video right there. It's probably gonna be uploaded around next Wednesday. So be looking out for that. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy that one too. I really put a lot of time and effort into that one. It's actually one of my better videos if I feel like myself. But yeah, with all that little stuff out of the way, a little talk, I'll let you guys carry on with your day. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to go down there, hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed, and be sure to share my videos with your friend. You know, if you have a friend that likes anime and you think he might enjoy it or she might enjoy my content, show him my channel. You know, it doesn't hurt to spread the channel out there. You know, but yeah, with all that out the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.